Okay guys, this is video 4.1. I am going to be showing you here how to model the growth of money under an annual compounding scheme, how to model this on the spreadsheet. But if you look at criteria 2, which is what we're on now, I want to add the added, I want this spreadsheet to have the added element that it allows us to vary the interest rate to be anything that we want it to be. So we can, the interest rate can be 4% or 5% or 2% or whatever, okay? So if we get started here, let me just remind everybody, right there in cell A1, whenever you have some quantity that you want to be able to change, I want the interest rate to be 2 or 3 or 5, whenever you have some quantity that you want to be able to change easily, you should make a special cell for that quantity. So I am going to create a special cell for the interest rate right here in cell A1, and I have input 0.04 right there in cell A2. And if you don't mind, I think I'm just going to make these rows a little bit taller. Okay? Alright, so we can continue from there. We are modeling the growth of savings under an annual compounding scheme against the years that go by. Modeling the years as they go by one, this is becoming completely second nature. I'm going to put year 0 in cell B2. I'm going to put my cursor in cell B3 and say equals B2 plus 1. And that gives me a formula that I can drag down column B to generate all of the years. Okay, let's go into our savings column. You should recognize here, this is for year 0. The savings for year 0 in this problem, this is the initial condition, and the savings for year 0 in this problem is $100. So we're going to put that right in there. Okay, and we are now going to go down to cell C3. And we are trying to model this process of applying the interest rate to the savings from the year before and adding that interest earned to the savings from the year before. Well, let's see how that works. Let's try this. So we're going to say, first of all, let's calculate the interest earned. Let's do that right here in this cell C3. So to calculate the interest earned, I am going to do 0.04, 0.04 times the savings from the year before. And then that's going to give me the interest earned, but I'm going to do this all in one line. And I'm going to add that interest earned to the savings from the year before. So that's 0.04 times 100 plus 100. Okay? And I think you can see, if you enter that, you can see that we're getting the correct number. We're getting that $104 that we were getting in the demonstration podcast. Okay? Let me bring this up again. Let's start replacing things, guys. The decimal, the 0.04, we have a cell for that, 0.04. Can you see what cell that's in? That's in cell A2. So let us replace this 0.04. I'm going to take that out of there, and I'm going to replace that with cell A2. Okay? And then we've got a 100 here, but our 100 is also in a cell. It's in cell C2. So I'm going to replace that 100 with cell C2, and likewise, this is another 100 that I'm going to replace with cell C2. So I have just converted everything from the numbers to cells. The first part of this formula, this 0.04 times 100, that is the interest earned, and then the second part is you're adding that interest earned to your savings from the prior year. That C2 is the savings in the C column from the prior year. Okay? And I'm just going to enter it just so that once again you can see we're still getting our $104. Nothing has really changed. Okay? But let's be careful about dragging. Okay? Because let's take a look here. We're going to need dollar signs around something. And if you look carefully, I hope it's becoming a little clearer to you where we're going to need dollar signs. This C2, this is referencing savings from the year before. So that's right here. and this is referencing savings from the year before. And when we drag that down, that's going to become C3, which means it's going to reference the savings that are in this very cell right now. So that's actually okay as long as we've generated the correct savings. If you take a look at cell A2, when we drag cell A2 down, that's going to go to cell A3, but look closely in cell A3, that cell is empty, right? So what do we need around that A2? We need dollar signs so that we can hold that fixed. Okay, so we're going to put dollar signs around there, still getting that $104. I'm going to highlight these two cells, drag down, and look at that. There's our $108.16, and I hope these numbers are familiar from calculations that you've done, $112.49, $116.99. Look at your formulas. The A2 is being absolutely referenced, that's 0.04, and then it's multiplying times C4 times the savings from the year before. That's right here, $108.16. That is cell C4, and then it's adding the savings from the year before, and that's giving us this new savings for year 3. You can drag that down as far as you want. That should help you to design both spreadsheets from criteria 1 and 2. And I also want to point out, please notice that I can now change the interest rate to anything I want, and you can start to see how the savings are affected. That just went down a lot. Let's give us a 9% interest rate, and that gives us a lot more money. But you can see the effect that the change in the interest rate has on the savings. Okay? Make sure you guys can apply that to both criteria 1 and criteria 2.